आंसफ अली है और मेरे ग्रुप मेंबर्स फरजीन, आमना, सहरबानो और मोहम्मद मुदस्सिर आगे न्यूरो मार्केटिंग के बारे में डिस्कशन करेंगे। सबसे पहले हम लोग सर जावेद बाटला का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहेंगे कि उन्होंने हमें ये मौका फराहम किया कि हम लोग इस टॉपिक के ऊपर फर्दर रिसर्च कर सकें और इसकी प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीकेशंस के ऊपर बात कर सकें। क्या कभी आपने ये सोचा है कि आप किसी सुपरमार्केट के अंदर जाते हैं तो वहाँ पर सुपरमार्केट के अंदर सबसे पहले चॉकलेट्स, वेफर्स, बिस्किट्स उनके शेल्फ्स क्यों होते हैं? क्या कभी आपने ये सोचा है कि एंटी एजिंग क्रीम्स के ऊपर जो एड डिस्प्लेज होते हैं उसके ऊपर क्रैक्स और अगलीनेस को क्यों शो किया जाता है? क्या कभी आपने ये सोचा है कि रेड बटन और रेड लाइट जो ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पे होती है वो रेड ही क्यों होती है? कोई दूसरा कलर भी तो हो सकता है। तो आइए ये जानते हैं न्यूरो मार्केटिंग के पर्सपेक्टिव से। थैंक यू। सो हियर वी कम अगेन, विजुअल्स एंड इन्फ्लुएंस स्ट्रेटजी। क्या मैं कहूँ कि मैकडॉनल्ड्स का नाम सुनते ही आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है? क्या उसका वो पैटी बर्गर, फ्राइज, उसका हैप्पी स्माइलिंग फेस वाला क्लाउन या हैप्पी मील? अगर इनमें से कोई सा भी जवाब सही है, दे आर यूजिंग द विजुअल स्ट्रेटजी सिंस देयर इंसेप्शन। मार्केटियर्स ने अनलॉक किया इंसान के दिमाग को सबकॉन्शियस माइंड के थ्रू। न्यूरो मार्केटिंग और सबकॉन्शियस माइंड होता क्या है? सबसे पहले सबकॉन्शियस माइंड वो माइंड होता है जो कि इनवॉलंटरी डिसीजंस मेकिंग को कंट्रोल करता है। कॉन्शियस माइंड वो माइंड होता है जो कि हम लोग डेली बेसिस में हम यूज करते रहते हैं फॉर सॉल्विंग द प्रॉब्लम्स, फॉर मेकिंग द डिसीजन वॉलंटरी। ओके, और अनकॉन्शियस माइंड जो होता है वो जब हम सो रहे होते हैं जब वो एक्टिवेट होता है। तो सबकॉन्शियस माइंड जो होता है वो सारी इनवॉलंटरी मूवमेंट और डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है। सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को अटैक करने का जो एक सिस्टम है वो है लिम्बिक सिस्टम। लिम्बिक सिस्टम के अंदर अगर हमने कोई भी मेमोरी स्टोर कर दी, वो हमारे लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी का हिस्सा बन जाता है एंड वो हमारे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड का हिस्सा भी बन जाएगा। जब भी लिम्बिक सिस्टम की वो ही वापस से नॉस्टैल्जिया क्रिएट होता है, सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एक्टिवेट होता है एंड दैट रिजल्ट्स इनटू द डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस। मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ अपनी। मैं जब छोटा था, 5 इयर्स का, तो मैं मैकडॉनल्ड्स जाया करता था सिर्फ इस वजह से कि वहाँ पर हैप्पी मील मिलता है। और हैप्पी मील क्यों? ऐसा क्या होता था हैप्पी मील? हैप्पी मील में ऐसे टॉयज भी रखते थे जो कि टॉयज मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते थे, लाइक अ कार, लाइक अ जिक्सॉ पजल एंड मैनी मोर। उनके टॉयज होते थे, उनके खुद के मैस्कोट्स होते थे जो कि आज भी हमें याद आते हैं कि वो मैस्कोट्स जो होते थे वो उन्होंने खुद कैरेक्टर्स डिजाइन किए थे। सो दैट्स द पार्ट ऑफ माय लिम्बिक सिस्टम राइट नाउ। और आज भी मैं मैकडॉनल्ड्स जाता हूँ, सिर्फ वही नॉस्टैल्जिया क्रिएट होता है। वापस से मैं उस क्लाउन फेस को देखता हूँ तो मेरी बचपन की यादें वापस आ जाती है। दैट रिलीजेस द डोपामाइन, दैट्स अ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर, हैप्पी हार्मोन होता है। सो द लिम्बिक सिस्टम, ऐसा लिम्बिक सिस्टम में होता क्या है कि वो इतनी लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी स्टोर कर देता है। तो यहाँ पर बहुत सारे रीजन होते हैं, अमाइगडाला होता है, ऑल्फैक्टरी बल्ब होता है, कलर रीजन होता है, एंड सेरिबेलम, हाइपोथैलेमस, ये सारे इसके लिम्बिक सिस्टम के एक हिस्से हैं। और ये सारे रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं, ये स्टिमुलाई क्रिएट करते हैं, स्टिमुलाई यहाँ पर स्टोर होती है और वो लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी का हिस्सा बन जाता है। जो मैं स्पेसिफिकली बात करने वाला हूँ वो विजुअल्स है, V4, जो कि यहाँ पर स्टोर होता है लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी। और शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी इसकी स्टोर होती है ऑक्सीपिटल लोब में। ऑक्सीपिटल लोब में लाइक हम लोग कभी किसी मैकडॉनल्ड्स के पैटी बर्गर को देखते हैं तो हमारे मुंह में पानी आ जाता है देखते के साथ ही। तो वो ऑक्सीपिटल लोब के अंदर जो है वो विजुअल क्रिएट होता है, वो विजुअल जाता है यहाँ पर और वो डोपामाइन रिलीज करता है एंड दैट बिकम्स द लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी एंड द पार्ट ऑफ सबकॉन्शियस माइंड। सो हियर इज द केस। ओक्लाहोमा स्टेट एंड ओक्लाहोमा स्टेट अमेरिका के अंदर मैकडॉनल्ड्स को चाइल्ड इन्फ्लुएंस मार्केटिंग करने से बैन कर दिया गया है। वो क्यों? क्योंकि वो टॉयज देकर अपनी प्रोडक्ट सेल करते हैं। देयर proposition, unique selling proposition was restricted to selling their meals to the kids on the basis of giving the gifts to them. तो कोई ऐसी कोई proposition खास थी नहीं. तो this is the case of McDonald's in terms of visuals and influence strategy. They are doing the inception of their fast food chain. I hope it was informative to you. Let's move on to the other topic. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Syed Farzeen Ahmed and I'm going to discuss about importance of colors in neuromarketing. First of all, why are colors so important and why do companies spend a great amount of time to decide which color they will proceed for designing their logo or their product? We may think that advertising and printing have been using colors without any reason, but actually that is not the case. In the recent years, scientists have conducted many researches on color psychology, and they have now concluded that actually the usage of colors in various forms of advertising or printing and even in our clothing actually does have a meaning in others' brain. Moreover, they have also concluded that consumers care more about color in the products rather than smell and texture. So utilizing a color effectively can be a very powerful marketing tool. Based on the researches, they have actually devised a color emotion guide which basically explains how different colors provoke different kinds of emotions. Now let's see what our brain thinks when we see different kinds of colors. Okay, so now you can see the color emotion guide which has been developed by scientists after thorough researches. In front of each color you can see the logos of many famous companies, and I am going to tell you a little bit about each color in brief. First of all, we have yellow color. It is the color of sunlight and makes you feel happy, optimistic, intelligent and provides good energy. This color is related to pleasant scents. Next we have orange color. It is a friendly and stimulating color. It gives a sensation of coziness and warm places. It also symbolizes attraction, creativity and success. Red is interpreted as action, passion, desire for success, excitement and bold. This color is frequently used in dangerous zones but also used for cars, sports and energy drinks. Men are the most frequent target of brands and publicity using this color. Purple is the color of creativity, imaginative and wise. It also means nobility, wisdom, independence and dignity. Blue is the color of trust, dependability and strength. Green is the color of earth which symbolizes life, nature, fertility and perseverance. Green has also been related to money and richness. Grey is the color of balance. White refers to purity and innocence, while black refers to power, but sometimes it is also referred to as evil. So now you have a basic understanding of how different colors are related to different emotions, and I am going to explain you further with an example. Okay guys, so now you have the basic understanding of how different color provoke different emotions. Let us take a real life example of McDonald's. The red and yellow were chosen not because they looked good, but actually it is something to do with science. You see, when our brain is exposed to different kind of colors, the rays enter into our brain and hit a part called amygdala. This amygdala is responsible for releasing four chemicals or dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin and endorphins. These four neurotransmitters basically create and provide a sensation of pleasure and happiness. McDonald's capitalized on this combination of red and yellow, and it proved very successful for them because red is associated with increasing your heart rate and jumpstart your appetite, while yellow creates a sensation of happiness and pleasure. So it proved very successful for McDonald's. So there's a color combination of these two. So in the end, I want to say that when you are selecting color for your brand, bear in mind that you may be influencing how a potential customer might feel. So thank you for your time, and I hope you found this information useful.
Good morning. Most of the decisions that we take in our daily life are controlled by our subconscious mind. This is because very small details of which we are consciously unaware gets captured by our subconscious, and they in turn affect our behavior. Neuromarketing is all about targeting that part of our brain that controls most of what we do. So, I am Mudassir, and today I am going to discuss how McDonald's use uh, neuromarketing techniques and ambience in order to influence our dining experience. Our brain is a complex network of more than 100 billion nerve cells that processes everything that we see and modifies our behavior accordingly. So, when we walk into a McDonald's, we immediately interact with its environment, and even though we may barely notice it, our brain picks up cues which makes us respond in a certain way. Let's find out how. The first thing that hits our subconscious is the lighting. All the McDonald's restaurants are very well lit. If it is during the daytime, there is a plenty of natural light coming in, and if it is during the night, the whole place is covered with a lot of light, which keeps the place illuminated. So why do they do it? The reason behind is that we are naturally calibrated to be more active during the day. So what all this lighting does to our body is it makes our brain release a hormone called cortisol, which is responsible for suppressing sleep. As a result, we feel more active and energetic. The next element that we subconsciously interact with is the surrounding. You might have noticed it that McDonald's uses a combination of wooden and warm colors for its interiors. These colors such as yellow and red gets detected by our brain, and they produce a very strong psychological reaction. They stimulate the body and blood flow, so we feel more energetic and hungry. Listening to music makes our body release dopamine, which, as communicated by my fellow, is a happy hormone. It elevates our mood and makes our dining experience more enjoyable. So, at McDonald's, they make sure that every consumer enjoy their food in the presence of a calm and ambient music. At fast food restaurants, the key to success is the customer turnover. They do not encourage people to spend a lot of time there. So the seating arrangement at McDonald's are very brightly lighted, and they offer very little privacy. So you get the feeling of urgency and you are ready to roll out as soon as you finish your meal. So these little things create a huge impact on our behavior. Hope you enjoyed my presentation. This is all from my side, and now my group member will proceed further.
Hi guys, it's Amna. So tell me, how do you all feel when you hear McDonald's? Because you guys are not the only one who cannot resist eating McDonald's. Everyone, all of us knows how it feels to get your hand full of McDonald's. What is it? What's their magical combination that they use that once you grab that red box, that unmistakable smell of frying scent reminiscent of that box of the drive-through windows of the cash counters, it's irresistible for all of us. And a lot of us, we call McDonald's as a comfort food. So what is it that they use which makes McDonald's a million times better than any other fast food? As it turns out, it is not just one thing, but rather a spellbinding combination of components that McDonald's uses to create this taste experience unlike any other fast food chain. Scientists explain that 90% of the perceived flavor of the food comes from the smell of that particular item. That is the reason fast food is designed in a way that it smells so good that it appeals the consumer, it sparks the desire or the urge to buy it, to eat it. Neuromarketing, or playing around the subconscious of consumer mind, is the subject of concern for many multinationals. So for instance, think about the time when we get flu or cough. खाने का दिल नहीं करता, food appealing नहीं लग रहा होता. So similarly, without this delicious aroma, even McDonald's won't taste similar. In other words, that delicious aroma we know and the love is basically smell of potatoes being fried in beef fat. The smell might make you take the first bite, but then again, it's the taste that makes you come over and over again. So coming on to the taste, McDonald's has mastered the art of combining boatload of ingredients to bring that treasured sensation of finished product. The main players are obviously the salt, sugar, and fat. When you ever think of McDonald's, we just know it is going to taste better. In the food industry, this perfect equilibrium of salt, sugar, and fat is called the bliss point, and fast food manufacturers they spend millions of dollars finding this perfect equilibrium. How does McDonald's do it? When we eat those McDonald's fries, it releases dopamine in our brain. That's a feel-good neuron, a neurotransmitter that triggers a feeling of pleasure, of happiness, of comfort. A lot of us, we call McDonald's our comfort food. Why? Because after frying and seasoning those fries, McDonald's coats it in dextrose, a form of sugar. So McDonald's uses a big three: salt, sugar, and fat. Coming to the crunch, or more specifically the mouth feel. Smell and taste researcher Alan Hirsch refers to it as music of mastication, an auditory accompaniment to the sensory stimulus of eating. Humans, they love the crunchy, noisy sound that the snacks make, and when we hear it, we want to eat more. So I'm hungry, and bam, McDonald's it is. That is what brings in business. That is what marketing is. And the game is clearly leveled up by McDonald's by not just merely showing very strong commercials and visuals, but by directly tapping into the sensory cells. And when you put all those sensory details together, it's no mystery that why McDonald's is so addictive.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Sheher Bano and I'm a working woman and I have a very busy schedule like every one of you. But I take some time for myself. I love traveling. I do gymming, and when you gym, you are like mostly you are like on diet. But whenever my trainer says you're free to eat, you can eat whatever you want to eat. So when I hear, I always crave for fast food, and when I close my eyes, the visual comes like the mighty singers and fries. And the second visual comes is like the colorful M, that is the McDonald's. So for me, the preference for McDonald's is for their services, their on-time delivery, their fresh food, and their Wi-Fi services. And I feel connected with McDonald's as well, because when I see that clown of Arnold McDonald, I always visualize that I had so many snaps with him in my childhood. So what happens actually in sense of neuromarketing, what happens here? For this, you have to rewind the situation. So when I entered the outlet and I first saw that clown statue of Arnold McDonald, so some neural activities occur in my mind and glutamate discharges and some flashes occur. So basically, I feel happy and I feel connected with McDonald's. So that was the actual marketing strategy of McDonald's. And when I meet their food counter attendants, the way they speak always hits me up. I keep smiling. I look at them. Neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine activate, and I feel happy and relaxed. And whenever they say, "Hello ma'am, how can I help you?" So my ear sends electrical signals to the auditory nerve, which is connected to the auditory center of the brain, which you can see in this picture. So where I receive it as a sound and find it pleasing and respectful. And when I get my order on time and it's like fresh, so I feel so relaxed, so amused, so attracted towards it, because as I mentioned that I usually use their free Wi-Fi services. So when I scroll my Instagram, and the basic studies like results from fMRI and EEG actually shows. So there are two sides as in picture, a left positive and a right negative. So the electrical impulses shows the neuron activities. For instance, you can see delta waves, they show when you're asleep. The highest frequency waves like alpha show when you pay attention at the first place. So as you can see in this visual, thumb dial indicators, this was taken when a normal person scrolls his Insta in a relaxed environment. The red indicator shows the excitement level, the heart rate or the loving one, and yellow indicator shows stress level. Green indicator shows the level of engagement, while blue shows the level of distraction. So while my scrolling of Instagram at McDonald's, actually I do permit the same behavior. So this is important for the neuromarketers to get to know what their consumers actually like and don't like. because it's like we get to know what are my preferences, what I pursue, what I perceive, what I like to watch, what type of ads basically I like to watch on my Instagram and Facebook scrolling. So this is why I guess this is why the McDonald's has given the free Wi-Fi services at their different outlets. So this is so important factor in modern marketing, that the big players are now more interested in neurosciences. They are more interested in neuromarketing to get to know their actual consumers' behavior, because this depends on the subconscious mind, and mostly 90 to 95% of your subconscious mind is responsible for taking the decision at the first place. So neuromarketing that is why so important, to get to know your consumer very, very well.